Welcome back. You're watching Ozarks Tonight. We're glad you're here as always. I'm David Oliver. What in your life is music to your ears? We know that music plays a big part of everyone's lives, and that's especially true for the people who benefit of the services at Music Therapy of the Ozarks. If you haven't heard of that group before, you're going to learn more about it here with us on the broadcast. I'm pleased to welcome from Music Therapy of the Ozarks, Julie Cassidy, the director of the program, and Deborah Hartwig, the development director. Ladies, thank you for being here. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
You bet. We're glad you're here. Julie, let's start with you as the director. Tell our viewers what Music Therapy of the Ozarks is all about, how it came to be, and the services you offer.
Well, back in 2014, actually had been pretty heavy on my heart for a while. I was really aware that people needed and wanted music therapy services, mostly families who have kids with developmental disabilities. And when they would call wanting the services, they weren't able to afford the fee of the service. And so that was pretty heartbreaking for me to be able to not be able to provide the service because of that. And so I kept thinking I need something, some way to provide scholarships for these people. And so after a process, we founded Music Therapy of the Ozarks, and we were able to raise money and start providing scholarships. So that's kind of how it all came about, and that was in about 2014 that started the work on getting the nonprofit going.
So here we are 6 years later, going like gangbusters, I would imagine. Deborah, talk to me a little bit about the success that the program has seen and offered to various patients in various forms of life across the Ozarks.
We have been so lucky for the community to support us in providing funding for programs like Isabel's House, the NICU at Cox. We also had some seed money that we started a music program at the Victory Mission, and then the numerous individuals that we help along throughout the Ozarks.
Sure. Julie, tell me, who is the typical person that benefits from your services at Music Therapy of the Ozarks?
So what we do is provide scholarships for people to receive services, or like Deborah said, we provide seed funding for various organizations. So the typical is usually a person with developmental disabilities, and we can start people in services at all ages. So like Deborah mentioned, we've provided music therapy for the NICU at Cox Hospital, which has been a great service to many of those little bitty babies who are born premature. And we've provided services for veterans who come to learn guitar and then have a place that they are supported and can also process feelings through the music. So we really work across the lifespan, but probably the majority of clients that we serve are people who have developmental disabilities. We continue to broaden our horizons and get services provided for more and more, such as we funded some music therapy services for people with Parkinson's disease. And as we go further, we would like to stretch that into maybe offering services for people with MS and other disorders of that type.
I mean, you've just described a wealth of our community and in terms of the people benefiting, so well-deserving, and so we applaud the work you're doing. You mentioned the scholarships and funding. Deborah, let me ask you, I have to imagine, like all groups and nonprofits, COVID-19 has dealt you all some setbacks this year.
Yes, it has, but we also have received some funds in correlation with COVID. The Community Foundation of the Ozarks funded a assisted living facility grant for us. And so through COVID, we've been able to go and provide technology and some equipment to a few local assisted living facilities so we can help address isolation that they are facing.
Okay. And to help raise some money, you have a very special event coming up. It's your third annual rock and roll event. I've read over the information. It sounds like a lot of fun. Julie, why don't you start off by telling us about this rock and roll event coming up on October 10th?
Well, being a cyclist, I decided we're going to have a fundraiser and it's going to be a cycling ride. So we are going to have music. We want to incorporate music as much as possible in this ride. Our riders are going to leave the Riff, which is a music venue for those who aren't aware. And we have rides of 10, 26, 40, and 62 miles, and also a 62 mile that's road and then also gravel. They'll head out to the Frisco Trail and then return to the Riff. All along the way at our rest stops, we're going to have live music, performers to entertain the cyclists. And then when they return to the Riff, they're going to have a wonderful meal and also a concert. We'll have musicians David Henson, who is also teaches or works at Drury University, and Randall Shreve will do our evening concert from 7 to 9. So it's literally a full day for cyclists who leave the Riff at 1 o'clock and head back, and they can be entertained and do their favorite thing of cycling until 9 o'clock that night. So we're really excited about it.
You know, and I want to mention that the registration website for this is bikeandmusicfest.org, folks. If you're listening and you want more information, bikeandmusicfest.org. You know, Deborah, I have to imagine that the work you all do, not just here raising money through this fun event, but the work you do with these people in our community has to be just very gratifying. I've got about 30 seconds. Talk about the gratification you all receive from seeing the benefit of this music therapy.
I think that our therapists, they empower all of our clients to perform and see and use music as a tool to communicate, and they just enjoy it. You can just see it in their faces, and that is priceless to me. I have a hard time not tearing up every time I see one of our clients perform, and they'll be out there. We have a few of them that will perform there as well.
Well, I really appreciate your time today. Julie Cassidy, the director, and Deborah Hartwig, the development director of Music Therapy of the Ozarks. Ladies, I want to remind our viewers that your website is musictherapyoftheozarks.org. You saw that on the screen there in our previous little answer there from Deborah. I wish you both the best on your event on the 10th. Thanks for joining me, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
We'll have more Ozarks Tonight after this quick break.